7:36. Good Thursday morning to you. Time to talk a little hockey. Coach and GM of the GoldMiners, Ryan Wood, in studio with us again. Good morning, Ryan. How are you?
Morning, Ferg. Morning, Greg.
Good to see you. And thanks for not wearing your Winnipeg Jets hat this morning.
We were just discussing last night's game.
Much appreciated. I'm taking a beating from the other Winnipeg
Jet
in here
win a
this
game.
morning.
Yeah. Has Montreal won anything?
No!
Have they played a game that means
well, no,
anything?
but
well, no, hey, it's all good.
Well, Jets have won back-to-back, so it's kind of nice. We hadn't won a game going into the.
That is correct.
So it was nice.
If it'll make you guys feel better, we'll award you guys the preseason Stanley Cup.
It's going to be unbelievable when Montreal doesn't make the playoffs this year. Sorry to all the Montreal fans
actually,
out there.
it won't be unbelievable at all. It would be believable.
Yeah, it would be because they're not very good.
It wouldn't surprise me if they missed the playoffs. It wouldn't surprise me if they won the division.
Okay, let's talk about tonight's game.
Tonight's game?
The Voodoos, who are 5-1.
You're going to put the hex on the Voodoos tonight.
Now, Ryan, you lost in French River.
Yep.
7-6, a crazy game, double overtime.
Down 5-1, come storming back.
And they're off to a great start, so that's not a bad thing losing down there.
No, you get a point on the road. It's always, it's the age-old sentiment. You get a point on the road. It's better than obviously no points at all. So,
but you feel you should have won that game.
You know what? Even though that we gave up the amount of goals that we gave up, we still were the team that took it to them for the majority of the game. We had a little bit of a lull for a good 6 minutes, and in that 6 minutes, next thing you know, we're down 5-1. So, it was a testament to the boys' mental state and being able to bounce back from a 5-1 victory. We called timeout, had a chit chat, and we laid it out for them and said, "Listen, we can roll the carpet up right now and go home, or we can battle, compete, and show what you guys got." And the guys responded very well. They came out, got the next one, and then the momentum kept going. And we got secondary scoring for some good guys, and it was very, very nice to see the battle. And you know what, we in overtime had some opportunities to close the game out, and unfortunately, French River's goalie made some big timely saves, and that's the difference sometimes in a hockey game.
So you come home and you get a big win Rayside Sunday. So one thing that must come out of the weekend, you take 3 or 4 points, and you got some scoring, right?
Yeah,
you
10
goals, right?
Yeah, it's nice to see guys get monkeys off their backs, and guys who are going to put up some points and score some goals. And the sticks, I think, are starting to get a little looser in the guys' hands, and the comfort level is starting to get going. They're understanding me, I'm understanding them, and again, it's all just a process and a learning curve here for everybody, trying to ensure that we're all on the same page.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so a new goalie in town now.
Yeah. It's crazy to say that, we've had to burn through a few cards to find, who our two goalies are. The two guys we thought were going to be our goalies to start the year certainly didn't work out. And, it's no fault of anybody's. It's just the reality of how things worked out. Yeah. So we got Cade McEwen here, who's coming to us from the Minnesota Wilderness in the North American Hockey League. So it's nice to get him in here. His compete level is unreal. I mean, he hates getting scored on in practice. He likes working hard. And then you add Ryan Winter in there, and they're two completely different types of goalies. Ryan's a very composed goalie, and Cade's more of a reaction type, kind of a hybrid, old school Martin Brodeur type goalie. So it's two different schools of goaltending for sure. Like
you say, you've gone through a few goalies, but I guess it's tough, Ryan, when you bring them in from different leagues, right? You don't know
the level of competition they faced, and
sometimes you get a couple of recommendations from people that maybe aren't accurate, right?
Maybe they overvalued them
exactly,
a little bit,
for sure. And sometimes you come from a specific league, and it just doesn't matter, right? I mean, at the end of the day, you could come from the NHL, and unless you come here and score and not score goals, but you get the job done, then that's reality. You got to get the job done. And exactly. Us as a coaching staff and management, we feel that the two goalies we got now are going to be, the icing on the cake that we need, and we're going to give them the ball, and it's up to them to stop the puck and give the boys a chance to win every night.
So will you go one when they're hot, or will you go back and forth?
I'm not sure. I haven't really gone that far in depth into how we're going to run it, but I think this weekend we'll probably split the games. I know Winters will get to start tonight, and Cade's looked fine in practice, so we'll probably give him the start against Timmins and go from there. So
I know last weekend the Bannister, Carter, Whittitt line was real good.
Yep.
Have you sort of settled on your lines now, or still a little bit of experimentation going on?
That line's been kind of set from day one. We've figured things out a little bit when it comes to Fife and Nikitin. We like the combination there. We've kind of tinkered with Rowe and Mazouk being a twosome. So we're just trying to figure out the winger situations on both of those lines. Elwood's been in the mix there. Lucas Lysick's been in the mix. We've given Kozier a look there, so we're just kind of trying to identify who's going to be the guys to join those two guys.
I've heard NHL coaches talk about, rather than trying to put a trio together, you find duos that have chemistry, and then you look up and down your roster and try and find the third guy to go along with them. Is that what you're trying to do?
That's pretty much what I've been doing. Okay. It's stuff that I've kind of always done in the past. It's not trios. It's a lot of two guys, and then. Usually those two guys are pretty elite hockey players and good enough to make whatever third guy that comes on that line either a better player, or that player brings, an intangible in terms of work ethic, or, they're the ones that do the dirty work to get those two guys the puck or whatever, right? So, we're tinkering a little bit. I know that we've got guys more than capable on our roster to solidify those spots. Yep. It's just a matter of them, taking the ball and executing and being what they need to be.
As you're getting a little more comfortable in the league, what's the thing that surprised you the most? Because you're coming from another league. Yep. So you had some preconceived notions. You had some knowledge of this league. What has surprised you? Anything stand out?
I think the biggest thing is the parity in the league. Obviously, reading reviews and stuff of the past, obviously teams like French River and weren't always, it was usually an easy 2 points, which is not, right? But
exactly.
With the change of ownership and everything like that, they're, and the management staff, you could tell that they're here for real. And all the other teams as well. There's really no slouch teams in the league.
It's a real good league.
And there's no nights off. Yeah. You got to be prepared every night to make sure that you're prepared and have a game plan going into whatever team you're playing against. And if you're not prepared, you're going to lose hockey games.
Is that a tough message to get across in the room? That you got to show up every single night?
I don't think that it's a tough message to get across, because I think where a majority of these players that are on our team are coming from, I think that's just the norm.
Okay.
For me, it's, there's times where in the other league, you just show up, right? Yeah, exactly. So you can't do that here, and that's
and
it
was that
way
here. It was that way here. A few teams.
Yeah. So, as Ryan was mentioning, French River went through some tough times, but they've bounced back big time.
For a couple years, it was the GoldMiners and the Sioux were at the top there for most of the year. That's not the case anymore.
No, it's good to see the parity, and it makes it more entertaining for the fans.
That's right.
I mean, at the end of the day, who wants to watch a 10-0 rout, right?
Exactly.
Like, it's boring, and nobody wants to watch that. So it's fun for the hometown to see their team score a bunch of goals and win. But at the end of the day, I'd rather be involved in a 3-2 hockey game.
You want to be entertained, right?
For sure.
Okay, so Powassan tonight and Timmins Friday night. Different start times. So 7 tonight, 7:30 on Friday.
Yes, indeed.
So we wish you luck.
Thank you so very much for having me.
Voodoo's one of the top teams, one of the top teams in the league. Last year's league champion.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle for sure.
We'll give them a run tonight for sure.
It'll be a different look and a different roster than what we had opening night against them, and it'll be exciting. So hopefully people come out and cheer the boys on.
Come on out, let's make some noise and rock the Joe. This evening at 7, tomorrow evening 7:30 for the Timmins Rock. Thanks for doing this, Ryan.
Thank you.
Have a good one, and we'll see you at the rink later today.